Here we go, typical on the pole, boogity, 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 boys. Let's get racing, as it is going to be the cutoff race right here from Charlotte. And typical on the pole, basically in. Dan the man on the outside pole already in. And here goes some beating and banging around the bottom. I want to say Martin is in the wrong car. So Martin is going to be in the 18 tonight, everybody. He is usually in the 4, I understand. But tonight he will be in the 18. I will have to remember that. Bad Martin is in that 18 white M&M's car. Dan the man, who is already locked into the championship, is just out here racing for fun at this point. Typical also practically in the championship with the points that he has. It's basically Martin and Hollywood need to stay ahead of Shepherd as much as possible tonight, and kind of lock themselves in for a chance to win that championship here in a week from Homestead. It seems like everybody knows what the what this implicates. It is a very long race, very long stage. 49 laps in stage number 1 alone, 46 remaining at the moment. A lot of swirliness coming off of those exits, and you'll see that in turn number 4, I'm sure, as we'll see somebody go through there and kick up some dirt tonight, breaking loose out of 4, as we've been on Dan the man most of this go here. And there's Bad Martin, and that 18 got the top 5 right there. That's basically your championship favorites. That's who's racing to get in. There's Anxious Yeti. And Big Ben had a good race last week at Talladega. There's Dunlap in the 24. There's G-Dog 17. Real good finish last week at Talladega, finishing second. Best finish in the Ruthless racing career. And I believe, unfortunately, there is death before dishonor, an animal. But I don't believe Jared made the race tonight, so he will absolutely be out of the championship hunt. So unfortunate for Jared. Had a good season and was able to get in there after a technicality had happened, but not able to continue his path to a Ruthless championship, as he did not make the start tonight. But you know what that does mean. That means this man right here, running in 5th position, has a chance to still be a Ruthless champion, and all it's going to take is doing better than those 2 cars ahead of him right now in this race. And like I said, very, very long race, and the battle for the lead is starting to get spicy, as we'll go on board with Hollywood as he starts to lose it off the apron. Can't handle the low side there, so battle for the lead stretches back out to single file again as they work back around to the front stretch. This time Dan the man has closed into the quarter panel and nearly to the door, and he's going to be looking to take the lead this time by as they go down door to door into turn number 1 and 2, and looks like Typical still going to have the advantage on the high side, still going to have the grip coming out down the back stretch, and he's going to clear him down the back stretch. Let's see how this lap car plays into all this right now. He's going to go high. Is he going to stay high? He gets a little low, but he's going to stay high. And out of the wall, not loose, and did not take anyone out. All right, so the battle for the lead is interesting as the lap car gets everybody around. Martin going to try to go around him this time, and he gets around him cleanly, as we're going to try to watch the rest of the field try to get around this. A big 4-car group coming up on this lap car now. Can he go high and stay high? Good, all off the wall this time. Contact with the 16. He's going to come down into the field, but he didn't mess anyone else up. So the 16 did lose a little bit of speed. Everybody else checked up. That kind of broke him up a little bit. That hurt Shepherd more than anybody. He did not need that to happen. Dan the man going to come in the lead. And then typical Dan the man, typical Bad Martin, and then I think Dunlap came in after they did. Not sure if Shepherd has pit yet. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who got a penalty, as I believe these guys, to make it to the end of the stage, they're going to have to make a full stop. So we're going to see 62 go into pit this time to get some service. He usually has issues with pit road. As you see, he gets real slow there. Big Ben on pit road, and these guys are coming off now. G-Dog on there getting his service animal out here. Possibly getting some lap back, maybe. Death Before Dishonor had to come back around and get in pit road, so that was unfortunate for him. And as of right now, I think Hollywood is the leader, but he will go into pit after having that incident on the front stretch. And it basically lasted from turn 4 till turn 1. And Hollywood will remain in the lead until they come back around. I think Typical might regain the lead once it's all said and done. Nope, I believe that's going to be Dan the Man out there in the lead at the moment. Whenever they come back around, Hollywood is still on pit road. Typical to the lead again. 34 trying to put the move back on the inside. Door to door going down the front stretch this time. Middle of stage number 1, and we've got action for the lead. 34 is inside on the 3, and he is not letting up as we're going to go overhead and try to see what we can see. Neck and neck down the back stretch. A lot more grip on the high side for the 3, but preferred method on the inside for the 34. Apron's going to be his enemy this time. Can the wall make a difference for the 3 here? He does touch it, and the 34 is going to have the momentum back to the inside. I believe it was led by Typical that time, but we're still door to door back into turn number 1. Not hardly clear enough. Nose to quarter panel right now for the 34 and the 3. Hard battle. Oh, he gets Ty, I believe, out of the corner of 2 and touched the wall a little bit. So battle for the lead is all over. Retention to Dan the Man. Bit of a white flag for the stage. Oh, Yeti around right there on the backstretch. What is going on? That was unfortunate. I hope that don't bring out a caution. That would ruin some great racing here towards the end of the stage, as Dan the Man was able to jump ahead of Typical. And that's going to be the end of your stage. And this will be a 47-lap stage. So 2 laps shorter this time, but still going to have a pit. And as we get going, Typical kind of drops back on the outside, and that's going to allow Dan the Man and Bad Martin to get up here to the front. And we've got them battling right here now, as the 2 is now up here into the mix. Man, Martin in that 18 is really messing with my mind. .34 to the outside, 18 to the inside. He's got momentum and help with the 48 and the 5. And they are going to have the inside preferred line. Can they hold it up there on the high side? Door to door, 1 hits the wall. That's the 2 of Big Ben. 3 wide coming out of 4. It's going to force the 48 into the dirt. 16 into the dirt. 2 are wrecking. Did they get into the field back through there? Oh, man. The 48 got absolutely demolished. And that's going to ruin his night. He's still back here playing in the sand. Unfortunate. And the racing just continues. I'm not sure if they will call a caution at the line, as we do manual cautions here. Oh, we're going to get a bump from the 18 up on the 34. Typical going to take a lot of momentum to the inside. Can he take the lead? Possibly a caution at the line, but we will see. I do not hear any throttle giving out, and I think it's going to stay green. 34 got bumped up by his buddy, the 18 there. Dunlap now in 3rd in the 24. Oh, 18 off the wall, back in there in the pack. He's able to keep it out of everybody. 3 go down low. Unfortunate. So 34 is on the inside of the 3 here. Oh, Hollywood off the apron. He bangs up into the pack, and that will certainly bring out a caution this time as they are wrecking back there heavy. I don't think this will cause anybody to not have to pit. So there's still a pit out there for these guys. And Typical is going to jump back out there. Dan the Man's going to sneak it down in front of Big Ben in the 2. Anxious Yeti is going to try to ride the high side and have some help up there. Typical is going to go up there. Dan the Man right on his bumper. 2 to the inside, nearly 3 wide once again. We've got contact coming into the fourth turn here, and it's getting shifty back there. 24 hard into the wall. Oh, unfortunate for Dunlap. He is wrecking it all to pieces. And that might be another caution. Not sure. So Typical still in the lead, and it kind of stretched it out there with all that mayhem going on behind them. And possibly a caution at the line. Don't know. We'll listen to see if he lets out. And I think we're staying green. So 37 laps remaining in stage number 2, and we've had a couple incidents already. Did have a crash. So we're looking off the rear of Typical there, but he is just kind of smoothly going along out there. Bad Martin has found himself all the way back here, as we still hear people bouncing off the walls. So Bad Martin is in that championship hunt. Him and Hollywood pretty much about the only ones that could lose their spot, I'm thinking. Shepard inching closer to needing a win. But 2 more stages to go after this one. I mean, all the results from this one still matter. Death Before Dishonor got a little battle on his door, because he's got 2 playoff drivers trying to get by him. And Martin does not want to help out Shepard any way possible. Oh, what happened to the 2 of Big Ben? I hope that didn't just happen to him. That would suck. That's unfortunate. That's going to end stage number 1. That's going to make Typical your winner. In stage number 1, Dan the Man was able to take stage number 2, sorry. Whatever I said. Dan the Man won stage number 1, Typical won stage number 2. Typical will be starting in first for stage number 3 from Charlotte. Remember, we got 4 stages at this track. It's going to be Death Before Dishonor right outside him. Bad Martin in the 18 and 3rd. Dan the Man in 4th. Hollywood rounding up the top 5. Typical going to get a good start on the inside. Also a 47 lap stage for us here in stage number 3. So a pit stop will be happening. And these restarts here in stage number 2, if it see anything like it did, well, it might see us a little bit of a wreck. Right now everybody's holding it good and tight on both lanes. Get a little wear and warmth in those tires. We'll see how it goes, as we are getting close coming down the front stretch, and we are on board with about 5th position here. 3 wide coming out of 2, and that's going to shift the 18 all the way to the inside. 34 up and get some wall. And now we're back 2 by 2. We got 1 in the middle, and Shepard can't find any room down on the bottom side. Kind of drags the 2 up on him. Now we've got some good racing here in the middle of this pack. Nearly 3 wide once again, as we come back to 2 by 2, coming down the front stretch into turn number 1. Hollywood and Bad Martin have the inside advantage on Death. And oh, here goes Dan the Man shaking some cars around. That's going to be a big wreck here for us. We got them piling up down the front stretch now. So that's going to be a caution. If Shepard was to win this race, that would put a damper on someone like Martin or Hollywood, as I believe typical with the stage win pretty much locks himself in. Dan the Man already locked in with the Dago win. Oh, 18 in the inside. Hard crash down the front stretch. Only a one-car incident. Bad Martin just talking about his playoff implication. And here goes Hollywood still in second. We'll see if they let out, if there's any kind of caution here. They've been going green most of the night for any incident. Oh, that's going to be unfortunate, as they are going to stay green. As I don't know what happened to him exactly, but he definitely crashed hard. And this is your top three right now. So Typical and Dan the Man about the only ones locked into the championship 4 hunt. It's between Hollywood, Martin, and Shepard for those last 2 spots. Shepard just inching closer to a must-win. Points are in the favor of Hollywood and Martin. Hollywood's going to go to the inside this time and try to take the lead from the 3. He's got the help of the 5 and Death before Dishonor, and they're going to pass it. He's going to leave Death on the low side, though. He's going to immediately drop right back down there, and that's going to shift Typical all the way back to 3rd position, and that's going to allow the pack to catch up to him a little bit. As you can see, Dan the Man in that 34 in 4th position trying to catch up. Typical's getting a little tricky there on the bumper of the 5. Got him up the track a little bit, I think. Death having a little bit of a hard time keeping it low. 3 going to look inside this time. It's going to force Hollywood to have to hold it high. 34 is going to stay high with Hollywood's line. 5 is going to work up to the high side as well. Typical is going to stay on the inside. Bumps up to 16. 5 goes back to work inside. Big Ben also on the inside line. Typical back up to cut the nose off to 16. Nearly 3 wide into 1 and 2. Between the 5, the 16, and the 3. And it's going to work back out door to door, 2 by 2 down the front stretch. Good racing there through 1 and 2 of these guys. So nearly 3 wide again. Oh, got Big Ben shifting up the track. Not looking good, but he's able to line it out. Typical going to lose the lead to Death Before Dishonor this time, as he has the inside advantage crossing the line. So we got some tight racing here in stage number 3 as 31 to go this time. And Death Before Dishonor is now your leader. And Hollywood looking to the inside. No, not quite. Off the apron a little bit there. We'll see how it works out when we exit turn number 4 here. And everybody seems to hold it for the most part. And it's just good door-to-door racing here right now. So we got a good pack up front here. Death still your leader. Top 5 looking menacing. It's looking to turn into a top 6 battle. Dan the Man kind of loses the car off the exit there, but he's able to control it and get back into the fight. So Death Before Dishonor kind of shifted around on the league changes and works his way out to a lead here. Typical to the inside. Does he have the momentum this time on the inside? He will have it to take the lead for now, but will he be able to clear this 5 on exit? And can he clear it for the slide job? And he did. He got the clearance and he did it. Typical is down pit road. Death Before Dishonor is still out there, and he is going to choose to pit the lap after. And we'll see how big of a difference that makes for him. Typical still on pit road right now. As he did go on smoothly, and don't know if it pit road has claimed anybody in stage number 3 yet. Possibly might not. The 2 of Big Ben, though, is in the lead, as he'll be looking to pit this time. Oh, he has spun out, going on pit road, and he was invisible. Oh no, he wasn't. He wrecked Hollywood out. Oh no, that could possibly bring out a caution at the worst time. With Typical getting the win in back-to-back stages in stage number 3, or stage number 2 and stage number 3. Death Before Dishonor finishing second, followed by Dan the Man, Dunlap, and Big Ben rounding up your top 5. Alright, so Typical is going to start off on the pole here for stage number 4 from Charlotte. And this is going to decide who will be your Ruthless 4. That will be fighting for a championship next week in Homestead, Miami. Dan the Man is already locked in. Typical basically locked in. It's a heat between Martin, Hollywood, and Shepherd. As we have seen accidents in the last 2 stages on the restarts. We'll see what we got going on here, as we'll stay back here. And we do have some wall banging going on. We'll see if we get us another big one. So we are 3 wide coming out of 2. Between the 18, the 24, and the 16. 18 in the middle goes down to the inside. Now Dan the Man going to make it 3 wide. And this is 16, the 24, and the 34. Oh, 34 gets up into the 24, hits some wall in turn number 3 and 4. Hollywood way down into the apron. It's getting shifty back there for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Or I'm sorry, that is way on farther back there than 3rd, 4th, and 5th. My goodness. That's for about 6th, 7th, and 8th. This is a restart to stage number 4 after a caution. We're at 37 to go in this race. Dan the Man won stage number 1 and finds himself in the lead here in stage number 4. And Death Before Dishonor has been making some noise up front late in this race and has caused some issues for Typical. Big Ben gets some wall there in the back. I'm going to try to go back here. Oh, we got some swirliness going on. So we got some good racing here off this restart as Death Before Dishonor still in the lead. Typical just trying to work that high side any way he can. He's been strong up there on the high side all night. As now we get down to 22 to go. This will decide who will be in your Ruthless 4 fighting for a championship. Hollywood really wrecked it that time. Unfortunate. But we are back at it. We are at 5 to go. We are door to door for the lead. Alright, so Death Before Dishonor is still barely in the lead when he comes out of this corner. I don't know if Typical is going to have him, though, door to door like that. Might possibly allow Dunlap to come up here and make some noise with them racing together. As long as he stays on the throttle, Dunlap could have a chance here. 5 to go this time. But we are down to the nitty-gritty here. It is now door-to-door racing between these two. And Typical is looking to have an advantage here, get around him here with just 4 to go now. So Death Before Dishonor takes the lead with about 9 to go and loses it with 4 to go. Maybe Typical just dropped back to save a little bit of rubber here for the end. Animal having all kinds of issues tonight. He'll just burn it off the track there for him. Oh no, he's coming back up to the leaders. Goes way high. Gets the leaders kind of swirled out there. Dunlap still grabbing grass back there. Not sure what happened to him, as he was looking like he could have made a little bit of a comeback here on these two guys. Oh, and that's going to bring out a caution. Oh my goodness. Unfortunate. Typical is going to be on the pole. This will be Ruthless overtime, I do believe. 2 laps remaining. Typical is on the inside. Death Before Dishonor kind of got the bad part of the stick getting the outside. Dunlap going to try to move hard on the inside and make a move. Typical really protective of that low side. I see a few guys going to probably drift up here in turns number 3 and 4. Typical's trying to hang on to this late race restart. And he is going to come by and lead the first lap of the overtime. Any caution now will end the race. Burnout rule was eliminated with overtime. Dunlap still in second place, trying to work his way and try to get a win here. Dan the Man has now moved up to 3rd. So it's quite the top battle here. Caution was probably good for someone like Hollywood, who's had a pretty rough evening. And this is going to be the last lap. Typical is going to be your winner once again, victorious in the Ruthless Racing Series after a late restart.